Let's move to Madhya Pradesh, which to my mind is really the most exciting election of the current lot of poll-bound states. And the reason I say that is because the BJP is going all out, fielding ministers, MPs, trying to counter the anti-incumbency that seems to have set in against the government. The Congress, on the other hand, is hoping to play the sympathy card. Kamal Nath saying he was denied unfairly, hoping to encash the anti-incumbency and deliver this time a full mandate. What does the C voter data for Madhya Pradesh say? So first, the sample size is 38,343. The poll was done between the 1st of September and the 8th of October. It's covered all the 230 Vidhan Sabha seats of Madhya Pradesh. Let me show you the projected vote share for this very crucial, supremely exciting battleground state. Here it is on your screen right now. In 2018, the Congress had 41% vote share, which is roughly also the vote share of the BJP. So they were neck and neck in terms of vote share. And remember, because the BJP wins in urban pockets with bigger margins, therefore the BJP has more votes, but their seat conversion ratio isn't quite as good because they're winning with bigger margins in urban and semi-urban pockets. The Congress's vote share in June was projected by C voter at 44%. They're now projecting that that could go up to 45%. So 3% increase, 4% increase from 2018. The BJP, which was at 41, again projected to go up to 45. That's a 4% increase. Others were at 18, that's at 10. But remember, as I said in the first part, you really know the vote for others only after the candidates have been declared. Once you know how many rebel candidates are standing, how many of them are strong rebel candidates, then the others figure tends to change. Let's take a look at how the C voter vote share projections convert into seats. On your screen right now for Madhya Pradesh, and I said this earlier, this is the most exciting election because really what C voter is saying at this moment is that it's anybody's game. The Congress has the lead, 119. Remember, 230 is the size of the assembly, so you need 116 to form the government. C voter projects the Congress could end up at about 119, the BJP at 110, others at 1. So very, very delicately poised, the Madhya Pradesh elections. Now, you know, so there are two things that happened. First, the Congress seemed to have quite a big lead. About 6-8 months ago, the Congress seemed to be quite definitely in the lead in Madhya Pradesh. Then Shivraj Singh Chauhan came up with the Ladli Behna Yojana. So month after month, 1,000 rupees started going into the bank accounts of women. This seemed to shore up the fortunes of the BJP, which pulled back on some of the lead the Congress had, and it brought the election very, very close. Then Shivraj Singh Chauhan seemed to have been unsettled by the central leadership of the Bharatiya Janata Party. He wasn't sometimes allowed to speak. It seemed to voters in Madhya Pradesh that he wasn't projected well, and he became unsettled, unsure. It wasn't even known till very recently whether he'd actually contest. He himself was asking voters in Budni, should he contest? So all of that together then created some uncertainty in the minds of the supporters of Shivraj Singh Chauhan, and he's been chief minister for 16 plus years. So there is a Shivraj constituency in Madhya Pradesh. There's a BJP constituency, there's a massive Modi constituency, but there is a Shivraj constituency as well. Now this poll suggests that the Congress has an edge. The BJP, though not very far away. Yashwant Deshmukh, this is very delicately poised. Like last time, at this moment, Madhya Pradesh really a cephalogist's nightmare. You could run the numbers different ways and come up with different conclusions. You've worked the maths in a way that you think the Congress at this moment has a reasonable edge, but not a comfortable edge.
Well, Rahul, you are right. And the reason behind that is Madhya Pradesh is not really voting or thinking like one single state right now. There are 6 regions of Madhya Pradesh, and all of them are throwing up different directions, you know. There are 2 regions of Bhopal and Malwa where BJP has significantly big lead right now. and there are two regions of Baghelkhand and Bundelkhand where Congress has significant lead, while Mahakoshal and Nimar are going down the edge. So basically, if you want to look into the picture, basically it looks like Mahakoshal and Nimar, the contest over there is going to finally decide who is getting the final edge. However, having said that, it becomes very interesting in psephology, Rahul, when a ruling party actually ends up gaining vote and you are trying to explain that it is an anti-incumbency sentiment. So it is very perplexing. It is very, very confusing of sorts. What I think, is that more than anti-incumbency, it's probably is the fatigue that is going on in MP vote. And it's not just fatigue. I mean, it's easy to pinpoint Chief Minister. Chief Minister, I can't pinpoint because he is popular. He is not unpopular as such. So there is a fatigue at large, probably with the governance, fatigue at large with the sitting MLAs, long-term, big number of them who have been in multiple terms, probably. So that is the question. And also one very final detail, Rahul. I genuinely believe that people do not like when the mandate is disrespected. People do not like when there is a todfod done to make a sarkar or topple a sarkar and made anything. So if the BJP probably would have let Kamal Nath continue as the chief minister, and 4 years down the lane right now, BJP would have been looking at the numbers, what numbers Rajasthan is kind of showing in terms of momentum.
Okay, let GVL Narasimha Rao respond to that, because you make an important point that because Kamal Nath was denied and he's going to voters saying he was cheated, it creates a bit of a sympathy factor because Jyotiraditya Scindia switched over. You're having issues in alignment between Narendra Singh Tomar, the existing BJP cadre in Gwalior, Chambal, then you got Jyotiraditya Scindia's supporters. And while they're trying to get together, it's an unhappy marriage. And the sympathy factor, and the fact that Shivraj Singh Chauhan has been in power for 16 plus years, and the fact that he's now been unsettled. So you basically got a batsman who's taken guard, who's batting, but it doesn't seem sure of himself and therefore can't go out and play with the kind of freedom that you need to win the World Cup. GVL.
Rahul, you see, let me put it the other way around. He has been, BJP has been in power from 2023, 20 years. Except for the year of Kamal Nath's tenure. And it's not as if Kamal Nath had got a mandate and BJP had got this government through any backdoor. Kamal Nath didn't get a mandate. The last election through a hung assembly in Madhya Pradesh, he was shorter by 2 seats. We were shorter by maybe 5, 6, 7 seats. So that, and then in terms of popular vote, the BJP had got slightly even more votes than what the Congress had got. So therefore, there was no moral victory for the Congress party in the last election. And for the BJP
but you're giving a rhetorical response to an empirical question. The fact that anti-incumbency has built up, Yashwant's point that if you'd let the Kamal Nath government run, by now, anti-incumbency would have been against Kamal Nath and you would have probably won handsomely in Madhya Pradesh.
Even today, we are polling 45%. According to Yashwant's poll, the BJP is sitting on a 45% vote share, which by itself is spectacular. For a party which has been in government for nearly 20 years, it's a spectacular
but can I say,
and I'm sure we will,
the arithmetic, and you know this well, say that 45% of the Congress vote share is worth more than 45% of the BJP's vote share, only because the BJP tends to get more votes in urban areas, and you win with and you win with bigger margins. Therefore, even if it seems that you've got more vote share, unless it is spread out across the state, it doesn't help your seat conversion. So therefore, 45 for Congress is worth more than 45 for the BJP, and that's just the arithmetic reality.
No, Rahul, the point I'm making is, if there was a sympathy that Yashwant is talking about, the numbers would have been vastly different. But the fact that the BJP is even keel with the Congress in your poll, but going forward, certainly in the campaign, we will pick up. That's the reason why we fielded a number of heavyweights in the election. They will not only win their seats, they will have a massive influence on the entire region where they are contesting. So certainly our numbers, our vote share will see a big improvement as a result of our electoral
Okay, Amitabh Tiwari, it comes down to that. All these central ministers, MPs who are being made to contest, whether they act as force multipliers, as the BJP would like to believe, or they end up breaking each other's heads and there is extra competition because everybody is unsettled. Which one is it? The likes of Kailash Vijayvargiya said publicly, "Mujhe to ladna hi nahi tha ji, pata nahi kya." You know, he's saying that publicly. That creates its own confusion. Shivraj Singh Chauhan being unsettled creates its own confusion. Though the flip side could be, you make everyone fight, they all go out and give it their best shot. Narendra Singh Tomar wants to prove he's worthy of being Chief Minister. Kailash Vijayvargiya wants to prove he's worthy of being Chief Minister. Shivraj Singh Chauhan obviously wants to be Chief Minister, and therefore the BJP is more energized than it would otherwise be.
Yeah, so this is what the BJP hopes, that these leaders, that the stalwarts would win their seats and also impact the surrounding seats and win the maximum seats in their regions, and then get the BJP past the halfway mark, and then post the polls, the BJP would decide who would be the chief ministerial candidate. However, what it also, in optics terms, what it also shows is that the BJP is not confident of its leadership, which is the state leadership. Then how can the voter give confidence to the state leadership or the Shivraj Singh Chauhan government? And also the fact that the BJP is pushing central ministers to the fight shows that it is not very confident of victory in the regions where Jyotiraditya Scindia came and helped the BJP form the government. Because if you see the regional breakup, BJP is still lagging significantly in the Chambal area, whereas the Congress is making significant gains in the Baghelkhand, which is the Bundelkhand plus the Vindh region. And if you see, as you said, that the others are getting squeezed out, and the others have a vote share of, which was around 18%, now have a vote share of only 10%. The Congress is largely gaining at the expense of the BSP and others in Chambal and Baghelkhand regions. However, when the candidates are announced, see, 80% of the votes which BSP got in 2018 was from these two regions alone, and 70% of the votes which others got was from these two regions. So when candidates are announced, rebels are announced, the advantage which Congress has, because it is seen usurping the vote share of the others, might get lost, because the Congress is largely gaining only in these two regions, whereas the BJP, compared to 2018, is gaining in the rest of the four regions.
You know, if I go, Dr. Nasir Hussain, region by region, in Baghelkhand, the Congress seems to have a substantial lead over the BJP. 37 seats projected for the Congress versus 19 for the BJP. Last time it was virtually the opposite. So in Baghelkhand, the Congress is doing very well. In Bhopal, the BJP is sweeping. 20 projected seats for the BJP, 5 for the Congress. So a massive disproportionate edge to the Bharatiya Janata Party in Bhopal. In Chambal, Gwalior, which is where Jyotiraditya Scindia and Narendra Singh Tomar come from, the Congress had 28, the BJP only at 6. If this is true, then it's a real weak spot for the BJP, which despite importing leaders from the Congress, seems to be, at least according to this sea-water projection, weak in the Chambal belt. In Mahakaushal, you've got a much tighter fight. 23 seats projected for the Congress versus 19 for the BJP. The vote share 45 for the Congress, 44 for the BJP. So a very tight fight in Mahakaushal. In Malwa, it's the BJP that is sweeping. 32 leads projected for the BJP versus 12 for the Congress out of the 45 seats of Malwa. And then Nimar, where it's 14-14 for the BJP and for the Congress. 45% vote share for both parties. So it essentially, even if the margins change on the margins in 4 regions, it essentially comes down to the Mahakaushal belt and to Nimar. So it's not one state election, it's 6 different elections playing out together. And typically the BJP would like to believe, Dr. Hussain, that when there is a seat by seat, region by region battle, because they have a stronger organizational base, because this is where the Jansangh traditionally came from, therefore their stronger election machine will give them the advantage on polling day, Dr. Hussain.
Rahul, BJP did have a stronger organization base during the last election also. But the people of Madhya Pradesh had voted Congress and they wanted to keep BJP out after 15 long years. But then what BJP did in Madhya Pradesh, everyone knows. I agree with Mr. Deshmukh that people generally don't like toppling of governments, destabilizing of government, and breaking of parties. This I would say, because I come from the state of Karnataka, I have seen how the government was toppled there, how CBI, ED
but
was used
that again is a
against the
rhetorical
MLAs of
point.
Congress party
One
and
second,
Janata
Dr.
Dal,
Nasir
and how
Hussain,
the government was
the Congress.
just hold on,
Just allow me to just one second. Dr. Hussain, one second. The Congress MLAs broke away in Uttarakhand, the BJP came to power. Congress MLAs went away in Arunachal Pradesh, the BJP came to power. So that's not entirely empirically true. You could lose your MLAs and the dynamics change in the state and the BJP could still win. It's happened in Uttarakhand and in Arunachal.
No, I'll see. It definitely differs from state to state. But I've seen in the state of Karnataka how they are destabilized and what was their position in the last election. How Congress swept. According to our in-house reports, Madhya Pradesh, I think our tally, our number will be something like 145 to 150 in Madhya Pradesh. That is our in-house assessment. And it is 20 years anti-incumbency is there. Our organization is very strong. We have been taking up issues against the government. We have been fighting there on the ground. We have done our homework very well. We have done our surveys there. Both people ditching from Congress party will be taught a lesson by the people of Madhya Pradesh, and also for destabilizing a government, people will teach them a
2 points, GVL Narasimha Rao. One, you imported all these leaders from the Congress, yet in Gwalior, Chambal, the data suggests not just are you trailing, but trailing by a long margin. Secondly, the point that was being made about your seat share choices, your candidate choices betraying anxiety. You don't like your current team, which is why you want to change your team. If you liked your current team, you thought they could win, you wouldn't need to make so many last-minute shuffles in your batting order. You're having to bring in new heavyweight batsmen from the centre because your state batsmen aren't good enough.
Yeah, Rahul, what matters, whether in cricket or in elections, is to win. What matters is to win big. I think obviously, as a party that is determined to win this election, we will use all the resources in our command. We'll use the best of our talent. We will pull, because in Lok Sabha elections, Prime Minister Modi ji's image alone can really take the victory for granted. Certainly, we will need to use all our regional resources. A strong regional leaders. We need to leverage their popularity, their strength for electoral strength for winning elections in the states, because each of these big wigs, they will be a factor in Lok Sabha polls, but they will not be such a big factor as Prime Minister Modi ji's image overrides every other factor. So therefore, we want to leverage their popularity, their ground strength, their electoral appeal for winning big for the state assembly
GVL
elections.
Narasimha Rao basically playing on the sentiment in the BJP cadre that in a Lok Sabha election, even if a lamppost contests on the lotus symbol, is likely to win.
I didn't say that.
Victory.
No.
I'm saying that's the simple. That's the fact. That's the general thinking in the BJP, that because Prime Minister Modi is so strong and so popular, therefore anybody will win. It doesn't matter. And if you're a local leader, prove, whether it's in Indore or it's in Gwalior, Chambal, prove what you're worth. That's the point that you're making, which is fine. Nasir Hussain, respond to what GVL is saying, that they are bringing out all the batsmen. They have the batsmen, they're bringing them out to bat. If you had batsmen, aap bhi khila lo. He's saying, ultimately it matters whether you win the World Cup or not. They're making whoever they have bat.
That is what I'm saying. See, ultimately in an election, every party will try and put up the best resources, best candidates, best speakers, best electioneering, and all those things. I don't have a problem with that. But the whole problem is, it is not me. The other panelists also are questioning and saying, see, the lack of confidence in the present team, in the present leadership in Madhya Pradesh, anti-incumbency against the present government is something what they are trying to deal with. How are they dealing? They are trying to deal by bringing Lok Sabha members, by bringing Rajya Sabha members, by bringing union ministers, asking them to contest there, campaign there, stay put there. So that means that means this government has not delivered. There is no confidence in the leadership of the state. That is why they are doing it. There's where the Congress has a chance, and that's what Congress is not only hoping is building upon it.
Okay. Anyway, both parties will go with the narrative that they will. It's for the voters of Madhya Pradesh to choose which narrative they prefer.